You learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless you have, if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America. We do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and then I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow. Send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Start Up on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Start Up on the Blocks.
Welcome, welcome. How's it going out there? We're definitely excited about today. Got a great guest on tonight, Constance Jackson. So you can flip your mic on there, Constance, and say hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello,
Fantastic.
everyone.
Yes, we're glad to have you here. And yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Got a great topic talking about government contracting. There's a lot of folks out there want to learn about that. Yeah, you're excited to do some sharing?
I'm excited to do some sharing and answering some questions for sure.
Yeah, so and we definitely would appreciate that. Well, why don't you take a few minutes to just to give them a little bit of idea about your background and everything, and then after that, I should have this video queued up that I'm going to show you about what AI thinks about your background.
That's interesting. So again, Constance Jackson. I am originally from Pensacola. I was born and raised here up until my teen years. I moved out to Washington State where I graduated from high school, and then I moved to the DC area. I lived in the DC area for about 35 years, and a couple of years ago, I moved back to Pensacola. I have been in government contracts since 1998. If you live in the DC area, you are either working for a government contractor, working for the government, or doing business with a business that does business with the government or a government contractor for the most part. I started out working for Lockheed Martin on a child support contract when the defense budgets started to shrink back in 1998. And that was my first introduction. I started taking courses, graduated from several programs. I've been a contracts manager. I've been a proposal manager. And for the last 14 years, I've been an acquisitions SME. And I work with contracting officers, cores, contracting officers, representatives, and PMs to get contracts awarded.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you got an extensive background.
Yes, yes.
So how did you just happen to get interested in this field?
I fell into it. I have been working for Sallie Mae for a long time. They were headquartered in Virginia back in the 90s. I thought I would be there forever, and they had downsizing. They closed the majority of their offices in Virginia and moved the work out across the country. So
okay.
I needed a job, and I went to the unemployment office. They called me and said, "We have a job for you." And it was doing child support. And then I found out that Lockheed Martin had won a contract, and they brought me on to run a child support office.
Okay. So in other words, you just fell into it, huh?
I literally fell into it. I didn't even know what government contracts was. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know how vast the field was. You know, you can work for a government contractor, you can work for the government, you can be a contractor like myself that supports the government. Even though I've helped the government award contracts, billions of dollars in contracts, I've never worked for the government in my life. I've always been a contractor.
Okay, gotcha. So let's see what the AI happens to think about Miss Constance Jackson here. Let me know if you can't hear it.
All right, let's talk about a huge opportunity that, let's be honest, often feels completely out of reach for most startups: government contracting. It just seems like this world of endless complexity and red tape, right? But what if you had an insider's playbook? Today, we're going to figure out how to win. So this is the question that's probably on your mind if you're a founder. Is this game even winnable for a small, agile company like mine? The common thinking is that it's a closed loop, just built for the giant established players. But the truth? With the right strategy, it is anything but impossible. And that's where our guide comes in. Look, to win any game, you need to learn from someone who doesn't just know the rules, but has actually played it from the inside. So let me introduce you to Constance Jackson. Her career is basically a masterclass in federal acquisition. I mean, from winning awards with the Army for her work to helping with these massive modernization projects, and she even built an entire acquisition office from the ground up. She has seen it all. And that's exactly why she started Jackson Contract Solutions, to take all that insider knowledge and share it with businesses just like yours. Okay, so the first and maybe the most critical lesson you need to learn is who you are actually selling to. And here's the twist. It's not just one person. It's two, and believe me, they want very different things. First up, you have the Program Management Office, the PMO. You need to think of them as your real ultimate customer. They're the ones with the problem. They have a mission they have to accomplish, and they are looking for the absolute best solution to help them succeed. Their entire world is about the what and the why. And then you have the Contracting Officer, or CO. This person is the gatekeeper, the absolute gatekeeper. Honestly, they don't care that much about your cool new tech. What they care about is the process. Their job is to make sure every single I is dotted and every T is crossed, all according to the super strict federal regulations. They own the how. And this right here, this lays out the central challenge in government contracting. You've got the PMO, who's hunting for the best possible solution to achieve their mission, and at the same time, you've got the CO, who is hunting for the most compliant proposal. Your bid has to be brilliant enough for the first person and absolutely flawless for the second. This really gets to the core of the insider secret. While the PMO is your ultimate customer, the contracting officer is your first customer. Think about it. If you can't get your proposal past the CO's desk, your amazing, game-changing solution will never even be seen by the people who actually need it. So, the big question is, how do you actually build a proposal that makes both of them happy? Well, it all comes down to a really rigorous, really disciplined process. The whole thing really boils down to 4 key steps. 1. Dissect the solicitation. I mean, you have to know it inside and out. 2. Build a compliance matrix. This is basically a spreadsheet that proves, line by line, that you've met every single requirement. 3. You do these internal color team reviews. That's where you have your own team try to poke holes in your proposal to find any weaknesses before the CO does. And finally, after all that, you submit a package that isn't just compelling, but is also perfectly, flawlessly compliant. But here's the thing that so many founders forget. Winning the contract, that's not the finish line. Nope, it's really just the starting gun. You see, being truly ready is all about what comes after you win. The government isn't just buying a proposal document. They're investing in a long-term partner. They need to trust that you can actually deliver for the entire life of that contract. And that means you need a whole new set of skills. We're talking about being a pro at contract negotiation, doing deep market research and do all those federal regulations, having sophisticated risk analysis, and just rock-solid project management. Building these skills is every bit as important as writing that first winning proposal. Okay, we have covered a lot. So let's boil it all down into 3 simple, super powerful rules for your own founder playbook. Rule number 1, and you gotta remember this one, You always have two customers. Your technology has to serve the mission of the program management office, and your proposal has to serve the rules of the contracting officer. You have to nail both. Okay, rule number 2. Compliance isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It is the absolute foundation of everything. A non-compliant proposal is a rejected proposal. Period. It doesn't matter how innovative you are. Obsessive, meticulous attention to detail. That's your secret weapon. And finally, rule number 3. Think beyond the win. Don't just focus on getting the contract. Build a company that's ready to execute, manage, and deliver flawlessly from day one. Because your reputation for being excellent, that's what's going to win you the next contract and the one after that. So there you have it. You see, the game isn't impossible. Not at all. It just has a very different set of rules. And now you have the first page of the playbook. The only question left is, what's your next move?
What do you think?
That was amazing. That was amazing. I need that video. I need to post that on my LinkedIn. That was amazing.
Yeah. So I got that information from your LinkedIn page and your website, and my analysis of both of those things.
That was amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really what it boils down to. That was it in a nutshell.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's why part of my workflow in doing analysis and learning is I do the analysis and then analyze the results with the Lanika prompt, and then I dump all the sources and the analysis over into Notebook LM and let it reflect it back to me.
Yeah, I need to pick up Notebook LM a little bit more. I've used it a couple of times. I did a couple of videos with it, but I haven't used it as much as I should.
Gotcha. But it's synthesized all the information on your website and all your LinkedIn profile, and then I just analyze that, and it synthesizes the analysis. So, but and for you and using something like that, you could upload your brand colors from your website or whatever, and it'll use those in the video.
Oh wow! Yeah. I'm gonna spend some time with Notebook LM.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've made anything else here. Let me just see real quick, and I'll show you, see what else did I make, and I'll share my screen once I see what I made. Let's see here. Yeah, I did make some stuff, so let me just share the screen. I won't try to play any of it, but I should be able to show some of it. So this is a notebook that I've been putting some of the speakers in. So so for your stuff, I selected your sources just like this. Let's see what else I got on you. Let's see, is there anything else in here? Do you see anything else related to you?
The professional profile.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so it can tell. Yeah, it was just 3 sources. So I selected those 3 sources, and I, went up here and just did the audio thing here. The video was what you just saw, and you can do it like a slide deck, mind map, and reports, flashcards. I'm not a student, so I don't use the flashcards or the quizzes. But infographic and the data table. So and then this was 6 hours ago, and here's the infographic. So it's sort of, but you can tailor the infographics to whatever you any of the videos, anything to whatever you want.
Yeah, that's usually actually what I use Gemini for, is graphics. I do graphics every day because it like really helps people when I'm trying to explain something to them. When they can see a graphic, they understand it a whole lot better.
And that's why they call it the explainer video. And so like I did some reports two, and that's what these are. So this one, it says the strategic readiness, federal compliance, GovCon playbook. So I don't know what those things, but what happens is, and this is a little secret, and it's not anything major. So when you click on this, it generates, these are some of the 4 reports you can do, but this right here, so based on your 3 things, it has the strategic advisory report, compliance management framework, industrial primer, process overview. So, but what I do, so like if I wanted to create a process overview infographic, I'll just go copy this and get that out. Then I go over to the infographic, click it, and then I'll come down here to the customize thing, and I just paste that in there, and then hit generate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it'll do that. So yeah, but but this is Gemini, and Nano Banana. That's what's actually doing it, driving this.
Yes.
So that's a quick lesson in Notebook LM, and you see, you got, I only did it for like Roy was on a couple of weeks ago, I guess, and Missy was on quite a while back, and Dr. Bell, she's gonna actually she's gonna be online at the summit, but because she had a conflict with another event she had to go to, but yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, so that
Oh yeah, looking forward to that.
yeah, but yeah. All righty, so let's let me bring up my sponsors and partners here for a second. Just give a little shout out there, and then you and I can get into the real nitty gritty good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see if I could just find my where I'm at on here. Part of my screen is hidden. That's what problem I got. Okay, here we go. Just want to show. I've been running all day trying to get ready for for tomorrow, and had meetings too today.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're saying said you may have to tell us what some of these terms mean. Federal acquisition SME. So what is that?
So that is where I help the government develop RFPs to release. We do market research. We define what the requirement is. What is it that the government needs? Do they need a cyber engineer, cyber software? We define what the requirement is first.
Yeah. So you're saying the government hires you to help to do its procurement stuff. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, and I know that that's hard to believe that the government. So many people have asked me, so the government needs help, with procurement and acquisitions. Yes, yes, I've been doing it for 14 years. I've done it at several agencies: Homeland Security, the Army, the IRS, the FAA, NIH. So yeah, they need help. They need help.
So let me put that in a perspective from a government employee. If I got money in my budget, and if I can hire a contractor to do it, that means I don't have to do it.
You can certainly look at it that way as well. Yes. And I mean, I'm a small business owner. I mean, small businesses generate the most jobs. They're more innovative because they don't have the red tape for trying new things. And they can get things done. So small businesses and contractors, the government will always use contractors.
Yeah, me being a former government employee, if I needed something done and I didn't have the capacity in my office to do it, but there was some funding available, of course I'm going to hire somebody to do it for me.
Yes. That's almost like real life, right? If you're busy at home and you can't get to something and you have the budget, the funding, then you might bring somebody in to do that work.
Yeah. Okay. Proposal consultant. What does that mean?
So when a customer comes in and they decide that they're going to go after work, I don't get involved in the business decision. It's really up to them to tell me that they want to go after the work because they've looked at the statement of work or the performance work statement and they've said, my business can do this. So I don't help with business decisions at all. Once you decide that you want to pursue a government contract, I can help you review the terms and conditions in the RFP, make sure that your response is compliant, and get you submitted before the deadline.
Okay. Okay. And then this GovCon advisor, what does that mean?
I talk to small businesses about the rules of government contracting because while you can win a government contract without knowing the rules, you can be harmed by not knowing the rules. So if you don't know them, you should either learn them or hire someone who does.
Okay. And I agree with you 100% on that, because an inexperienced government contractor, can, by not knowing what to do and not knowing how to do something and filing something wrong, the contracting officer or the buyer may think you're trying to defraud the government just based on, when you're really not, you just don't know what to do. You submitted something.
Exactly. Yeah. And the government decides and they feel if you go after a government contract, you are doing this because you know. Yeah. So you can't get in and decide, well, I didn't know that, because they're not going to accept that. Yeah.
I've seen all of it. So.
Yes. And the government will sue if you don't deliver. I mean, they tend to be lenient on businesses, but you need to go in with the mindset of whatever is required in that contract that you sign, that you deliver.
Right. Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. So I did want to give a little shout out for our event, and I'm so happy that you're planning to attend in person. And I want to tell everybody, it's kind of a no-brainer. You can sign up whether you're available to attend or not. And if you sign up, you get access to the videos from the conference, and everything we're sharing on tomorrow and Saturday is for your benefit. And so, it's so many things people don't know about this startup world or about how to use AI. And that's what the deal is. And we don't care if you're in business or not in business, because it's about innovation. I want to make sure people know about innovation and how to innovate. So what do you think about what you've seen so far, or what you heard me say about the event tomorrow and Saturday?
I'm very excited. I use AI. I've been using AI for about 3 years. It started when I was supporting the IRS. This company came in and they asked us, to participate in a test environment to draft RFPs and draft RFIs, and something that normally took me 2 or 3 weeks to get done, I had 80% of it done in about 15 minutes. So it's life-changing. Yeah, it's life-changing. I mean, you need to check everything. Sometimes some of the sources are old. So you need to make sure that, whatever the results are actually makes sense and that they're factual. But, AI is life-changing, and it's a part of our lives, whether you realize it or not, and has been for quite some time. My daughter and I were talking about how we went to Turkey back in 2013. And way back then, Google was going into your email and putting things on your calendar. So I could see what the weather was going to be like for the entire time that we were in Turkey before we left. And this was AI, Google going in, scanning my email, and they put my trip on my calendar, and I had the weather for every single day that I was going to be gone. So that helps in planning. Some people may think it's invasive, but it's like most things in life. There's some good things about it. Some things that may not be so good, but I appreciate it. And that was 13 years ago.
Yeah, and so when you're trying to do work, and the AI is helping you do work, I'll let it have access to whatever it wants. It's gonna get the job done for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so definitely um, take advantage of this. And the good news is we can our StreamYard account can hold up to 1,000 people online, and so that's the neat thing. So you don't, and even for people that are coming in person, they still get access to that as well. And so what advantage do you have coming in person?
I think, that's always, even though I'm a person who's worked remotely for the last 5 years and then probably 4 years before that, before it became the thing, long before COVID, there's something to be said about being in person, being able to see, touch, feel people and that dynamic. So I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah, and once you get to that web link, there is a page for the speakers, and I'll just run through those real quick. So Jermaine, he's coming from Houston, Texas, and he does, his company does teleoperations. He have just think robotic stuff, drone stuff, and he's developed some technology to communicate with those things remotely. So teleoperations. So he's bringing a couple of his robotic dogs that let you see how to control them remotely. And so, and he's going to be on that thing, Are You Coach booth, because he's a retired MMA fighter. What a combination! Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and Roy is going to be on, but he was coming down. He let me know yesterday he wasn't going to be able to come, but he's going to be online, and he was online last year, and so he's going to be on that last panel. And he was on a few weeks ago too. And what was interesting about Ray, he had a lot of experience in the real estate business, so he didn't develop AI agents and applications to help people in the real estate business, even for buyers and sellers doing negotiations. So he leveraged his expertise and created AI agents to actually perform real estate functions.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
So the other guy, I helped the IRS award a contract for robotics process automation, RPA, $1 billion contract. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and so so guess who else is going to be developing AI agents and AI applications for people who want to do business with the government? Somebody named CJ Constance Jackson.
Well, that's very exciting. That's very exciting. I want to learn everything that I can. So I'm excited to learn and participate however I can.
But I don't know if you got the hint, was he had all this experience in real estate. And so naturally, he knows all about it and all the different processes. So now, he can use AI to help him create applications, that real estate agencies can use, or that a buyer and a seller can use to do the negotiation for him and come up with a price for the house.
Yes, well, I've been working with some real estate people recently, so I'm excited to see this also, because I didn't know how deep the real estate portion in government contracts went. In this last 60 days, I've learned about a lot of things that the government does in terms of real estate. All I knew was GSA and leasing buildings, because that's not an area that I've worked in before.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So who else we got here? So this is the lady founder that the Lanika prompt was named after.
Okay.
So when you create your Lanika prompt, you give your thanks to this young lady right here. So,
I certainly will.
So she was on last week with me. And so she was literally shocked at how far I had took her approach to prompting.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, so that was good. But yeah, she got a co-founder of a company, her and her sister, called Compassion Conference. And you can't say enough about this lady here, Dr. Valencia Bell. And so, yeah, she's I don't know how to describe her, but every place, you know, she's told me when she was on last year that she entered pitch competitions to learn how to explain her business.
I
And
think you
then,
should. Yeah.
yeah, but this is the crazy part was and she started winning all the pitch competitions she participated in. And guess what? The people she was pitching to, the judges, most of them are working for her now.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I think it's a great way to get started because one of the things that I tell people about government contracts is you are probably not selling something that someone else isn't already selling. So why should the government buy from you? This is what is your pitch? If you get a chance to meet with somebody and tell them why they should choose you, you should be able to do that. You should be able to say, like me, choose me because I can help you do source selection. I'm a technical evaluator. Not everybody who provides acquisition support is a technical evaluator or can manage a source selection. So that's what separates me from someone else who does the exact same thing that I do.
Yeah, and so she developed a proprietary method for preparing students to take the SAT and ACT, and it's endorsed from the NFL to all the Ivy League schools everywhere. Now she's doing that all over the world, and so non-tech, don't know nothing about technology, and so when she was on last year, I explained to her because the dilemma she had was she has to literally train people how to teach her method. So wherever there's a class in the United States or the world, the people have to get trained on how to use it. And so she's the one that has all the knowledge and the reputation. And so guess what she's did since we were on last year? I think it was maybe around last summer. Yeah, it was last summer because I heard about it in May of last year. And so now she's got AI agents that's helping her expand her business, you know, and making sure that people know how to teach her method.
Oh, that's fantastic. That I want an employee just because I don't know what they would do, but I want an AI agent as an employee. So I am excited about this.
Yeah, so that's good. And Dr. Wanda, we call her, I said Wanda Eugene. So she's a member of the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, and she's going to be on this panel. But she's a startup founder, but you know she's got a excellent background from the patent office to working at universities and running the NSF university centers and stuff like that. So you would never know it, but when you meet her, because she's just as down to earth as she can be, and she'll be here. And then Miss Savola, she's also on the board with me at Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, and she's called Coach Savola, and she's coaches success stuff on cruise ships, and she gives all these workshops all around the country. And so last year she flew in that morning and flew out that afternoon, and she brought some books with her, and she didn't bring enough because people bought them, and she gave out clothing thing. But she's literally another non-tech founder, and we were down in St. Pete teaching some stuff. So I recorded her class and audio, and from a class, I created an AI agent and shared it with her so she could actually do her, so she could have another money-making stream. But see, this is what people don't realize. Like that Anika prompt, you analyze stuff. It tells you all the patterns and what it's good for, and you can just say, you know, I would love to have an AI agent that can do this.
Yeah.
And the AI creates it for you.
Yeah. I mean, anybody can find something for an AI agent to do, right? Yeah.
But she's fantastic. And Dr. Griffin, she's actually works in the building where we're going to be on Saturday. But her and her partner, they invented this thing called a Teledor, And so she's going to be explaining the process they went through from an idea to a prototype and to actually having a company in Louisiana that manufacture it for them and develop all the software that goes in it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, and
getting
so
more and more exciting. I can't wait.
I don't think people realize realize the significance of, because there's so many different approaches to innovation. And I just want, and we're all capable of innovating. We're all capable of building scalable business models. And so that's what's so powerful about it. But if you don't know the process of what's involved in it, you're cheating yourself, because we have the ideas. We've been out there working all the time and figuring out things. Yeah. So yeah, but Corey, he's had 5 exits, and so he knows all about raising money, and so he and Dr. Wanda are going to share the stage and show you how some frameworks and things he's created, and that's going to be really impressive as well. He's literally reverse engineered stuff that the major nonprofits and foundations do with their money. This young man is graduated from where did he go? Morehouse, and went out and worked in Silicon Valley. Now he's over in Alabama, helping people with their startups. And he actually, at the Innovation Portal, he covers companies over here in Pensacola as well. So he has a program where, they'll help you create whatever you're trying to do, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I need that.
Yeah. And so all these things all around. Okay. And here is Ash Miller. He's, I apologize, I'm going too fast. He's one of the top 20 shot putters in the world, and he's athlete, but he's a military guy, and he and his co-founder of the company, they're going to be in the session, Are You Coachable? Can you imagine being in the top 20 in the world and doing something?
No, I cannot. I cannot.
Yeah, but see, like the deal is that the people don't realize. So if football players, basketball players, track star, everybody, they all have coaches, right?
Yes.
To learn the technique. So in the startup world, we have coaches as well. And so, but like if you think you know everything, you can't, the coach can't help you.
Yes.
And so, and that's why we're doing that session, Are You Coachable? And so we got Fred Robbins, the 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Ash and Randy are going to be on that panel as well as Jermaine. And so they all going to share what difference, just being willing to listen to somebody that knows how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Lloyd Jr., he and Rob and my wife, they're going to be doing the MCing. And so it's kind of funny. Lloyd Jr. is a professional singer, a professional opera performer. So he's got over 55 students over in Fort Walton Beach that he teaches vocal and piano lessons. And wow. The last couple of weeks, they had to do like the analogy of a demo day, like we do with our founders, and so they have to do a recital.
Oh wow, nice.
But he says everything he does in the music thing is analogous to what we do in the startup world.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear this. You have some powerful people on the panel.
Yeah, and this is Mrs. Storyteller. And she don't like AI, but I've kind of showed her a couple of things. She's probably wishing she liked the AI.
Yes.
But Robin, she knows how to tell stories, and she knows how to write, and she knows how to do research. So, and one of the jokes, and I haven't told her this, but I told everybody else, she made me mad about doing research and how to do research. So I created me an AI agent. I was trying to just create one AI agent, but when I told ChatGPT what I wanted to do, it created me one prompt that had 7 agents in it. And that one prompt has made me, put me on retainers and everything.
Oh yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but yeah, she's the connector. She as well. She's kind of hard to say no to. So, but yes, it should be fun. She tries to be a comedian as well. Yeah. Okay, here's Fred Robbins, and he's a really good guy. He always is willing to help out wherever. Last summer we had about 20 students in our summer youth employment program, and he came and spoke to them and kind of gave them some insight. So he's a really good guy. He didn't hesitate when I asked him to come participate. Super Bowl, two-time Super Bowl champion.
Very good.
Okay, is that it or what? Let's see here. Doesn't look like it want to go anymore. So that, okay, now we got a couple more people in here. One more, at least, no, looks like I got one more, Randy. Yeah, so Randy is a developer, and all these guys is taking their experience from being athletes. And so these two guys him and Ash was the reason why I decided to do the thing. Are you coachable? Because they in their startups, they're actually listening to people, experts in the field that they're going into, and being coached to grow their businesses in those fields. Yep. But if you think you know everything, you out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I would share that just to help people understand this is not just a fly-by-night thing. This is kind of well thought out. You get the whole experience from experts and everything. People that are out there doing stuff every day. So that's what the Founders Innovation.
Definitely some heavy hitters. I like it.
Yeah, and so we tend to have all the local politicians stop by and say hi, and we'll see who shows up tomorrow and Saturday. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I think I won't bother the show the rest of the stuff because we need to find out about this government contract. And I don't spend all this time on this. I apologize, but did need to be a little motivated. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So what was your first contracting? No, let me back up here. So when I listened to the audio podcast from what about you and your company, it said you had got Scrum Master. Tell us about the different certifications that you have and how those things relate together as far as your ability to do stuff.
So back in 2013, I was supporting Homeland Security, and the buzzword was Scrum Master, Scrum Master, Scrum Master. Everybody needs to get Scrum Master certification. So a Scrum Master is similar to a project manager, but they don't manage people. You manage processes. You manage, you make sure, you take care of everything. If there's some payroll issue for one of the employees on a project, you may intervene and get that resolved. But you are making sure that the project runs seamlessly. And that's really what the difference is. I've actually never I've done it in my head, but I've never actually had to use the Scrum Master officially. But I mean, everybody uses Scrum. Like the way that I work with contracting officers, instead of getting the package and handing them the entire package, I want to work with them throughout the process to make sure they are okay and they're on board with what I am thinking in terms of how we should award the contract. So by the time they get the package, we've already worked everything out. It's acceptable and they can release an RFP. And that is Scrum and Agile development, where you don't give them the entire project. You don't build the entire weapon. You don't build the entire program. You do it in pieces, and you can make changes throughout, so you don't get all the way to the end and then find out that you need to break this down because something you did in the middle is now obsolete.
Right. That so you definitely shows how it relates. Now, what other certifications you have?
I have multiple certifications from Defense Acquisition University, which is a government university. I've taken about 200 courses in government contracts, government acquisition, and proposal.
200? Wait a minute. You said 200?
I said, I don't want to sound like an overachiever, but I have completed 200 courses in all things government contracts.
You don't even have to take 200 courses to finish college.
I know. So I've told people that you can't get a degree in this, but I was like, I guess technically I have a degree in it because I've completed all of these courses.
Okay. All right. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Now we know why you're getting all these contracts, working all this stuff. Now we're getting to the real nitty. So tell us some other ones. So what are the key ones that made the difference that certifications and classes?
So I went to I guess in the middle of all of this, I went to I got a certification, a certificate as a paralegal at George Mason University in Virginia, and just being able to interpret things. And people don't understand how laws, rules, and regulations work. They think, oh, well, you did it, so no, and that's not how it works. You have to understand how that rule, that law applies to whatever somebody is doing, and that's what dictates the outcome, not how anybody feels. And this can be used, for criminal things or for government contracts. You have to understand how these rules and regulations apply to you when you are going after a government contract.
So I actually never really thought about what kind of training a paralegal gets. All I know is they can help prepare documents, but I didn't never know what in depth and the value and ways they could use that in other fields. Yeah.
You prepare. So the paralegal prepares. So when I was supporting Lockheed Martin with child support, I was the court person. So when the state of Virginia decided to take somebody to court for child support, I prepared all the paperwork for the attorney who was the representative on behalf of the state. So I had to read all the case files, important notes for things that had happened in previous hearings. I had to document everything, what we had discussed before, what should happen today, if we have already worked everything out. So you do all of the work. It's like the attorney is the person who is overseeing what you're doing, and they present to the judge, but the paralegal prepares all of the documentation and the work.
So what in the world does Lockheed have to do with child, whatever you said?
Absolutely nothing. They wanted to get into another line of business when the defense budget started to shrink back in the late 90s. So they started doing Social Security payments and child support enforcement.
Oh, they wanted to keep paying them butts and seats, huh?
Yes. They know how to pivot. That's why they've been around for so long.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still the case, but back in the 90s and 2000s, I think they were the largest government contractor it was, and I also heard, I think it was probably maybe early 2000, they hired 1 out of every 10 engineers, so like they were literally big,
Yeah, when I worked there, there were 55,000 employees, and that was in the late 90s. So, and they are still in the top. I know it fluctuates now, but they are still in the top 5 to 10 government contractors.
Yeah. So, so you got Scrum, paralegal, and so what these in the defense and procurement, what kind of certifications you got there?
So the ones I have are for category management, and that's simply how the government categorizes different, like IT, it could be real estate. They categorize services and products. And so I have a category management certification. I have a risk, issue, and opportunity, because one of the things that I have to do is, if the government is going to award a contract, I have to tell the contracting officer what the risk is that's related to the contract. That also is what we use to develop the evaluation factors. If there's little risk, then they're, not seeking to pay a lot of money for it. If there's more risk, they can pay more money. They can pay more than industry standard. If you are the more innovative, if you have the most experience, if you are the sure thing, the government is willing to pay more for that. So
Yeah, so now I'm beginning to see why the government is hiring you to on these procurement.
well, thank you. It is a big job, and people don't know. They wonder why it takes so long for a contract to be awarded. But there are a lot of things that have to happen behind the scenes to get signed off on by several people, depending on how complex and how valuable the contract is.
Yeah, so why don't you take a second to kind of explain the procurement process? How does it begin and how does it end?
Yeah, so contrary to popular belief, if you listen to a lot of people who are selling something related to government contracts, they will tell you that everything starts with the contracting officer, and that is false. Everything starts with the program office. The program office determines the need, and that's where the government contract starts. It is usually a PM, contracting officer, representative, or some other technical person. We define the need. We figure out what it is that the government needs to buy. We figure out how much it costs. We figure out, should we award through small business? Are there small businesses out there that can do this? Should this be something that a large business, has to do? And these days, there's almost nothing that a small business can't do. So when I am working with these people and, we issue like a request for information where we're asking vendors, can you do this? How much is it going to cost? Have you done this before? If somebody from the program office tells me the small business can't do it, then I need them to explain to me why. Because they prefer not to work with small business, because small business does not know the rules, and they have to sometimes babysit them and walk them through the process. So it actually, again, hurts small business when you don't know the rules, because I do understand that they don't want to babysit. They have other things that they need to work on, so they can't spend a lot of time teaching you the rules, teaching you how you need to deliver the product or service that you're saying that you're an expert in.
Yes, and so
Yeah.
So you talked about how the acquisition gets started, but how does the solicitation and award work?
So we develop a package based on that information. We send the requirements over in the form of a statement of work, performance work statement. We send an independent government cost estimate over. So any government contract that is awarded for $350,000 or more, the government does their own estimate that tells them what your pricing should look like. And your pricing could be lower, could be higher. So there's room for, maybe 10, 15% less or higher, but they do their own estimate. And that's how they determine if your estimate is fair and reasonable. They do a strategy, and that's where they decide if they're gonna go with small business, if they're gonna do a set aside for veterans, if it's gonna be full and open, meaning everybody can go after it, or if they're gonna put it on an existing contract vehicle where only the people who have been awarded that vehicle can go after the work. So we do all of that analysis and research behind the scenes. We give that package to the contracting officer. The contracting officer reviews, and all of that boilerplate language that you see in every RFP, they add that language, and then the RFP is released.
Okay, and then so that's the solicitation, and they have a due date for the proposals to come back in.
They do, and when the proposals are received, the contracting officer makes sure that they're compliant. If they ask for 20 pages, you only did 20 pages. If you do more than 20 pages, you're going to get disqualified. If they ask for 12-point font, you either are going to get disqualified or they're not going to look at your entire proposal if you exceed anything or you change anything other than what they asked for. And a lot of people think that the government is doing this because they want to be trivial or there's some other reason. The only reason this is done is so things are uniform. If a small business like Jackson Contract Solutions, there's nothing there, you can do whatever you want. I might submit something that's 20 pages, but you got a Lockheed Martin who has people who can do proposals, and they submit a 100-page proposal with all types of graphics and all this other stuff. And, you got my 20 pages compared to their, 100 pages. And so it's for uniformity. We're looking at the same thing from everybody. We know that we're not going to get more than 25 pages, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the proposal, so the selection process, how does that work?
We have evaluation factors that are in the RFP, and we look at those evaluation factors and we review proposal one by one. So your proposals are never compared to other proposals. If we get 20 proposals, we go 1 through 20, and then we rate them. We get together as a group and we go through each proposal, and whoever has the highest rating, and it's not really a point system, but whoever has the highest rating is usually the winner. That information is provided to the contracting officer, who is not in the room when we're doing technical evaluations. It is the people on the program team. It's usually experts, a chairperson, and voting members who are reviewing the proposal and doing the technical evaluations. We provide a package to the contracting officer. The contracting officer reviews. If it's somebody above the contracting officer, like a source selection authority, they will review, and then it goes to legal. So once all of those things have happened, if the people on the panel did everything they were supposed to do, whoever we chose in the technical evaluation is going to be the winner.
Okay, fantastic. Who normally sits on the evaluation team?
It is the people in the program office, the people who are experts in whatever the product or service is that is being purchased by the government. And sometimes someone like me, I'm usually a technical evaluator because I'm a contractor. I don't get to vote, but I review and I give feedback, and my feedback is taken into account with the members that are able to vote.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and then now the person has the contract, company has the contract, what goes on after that?
The government will send out a notice to say that you won, and they'll ask you to prepare documentation for a kickoff meeting. And in that meeting is where everything is discussed. When you have a kickoff meeting, you should not leave that meeting with any questions. If you don't know how the government wants you to deliver something, a report, or whatever it is they have purchased from you, all of that should be ironed out in that meeting.
Okay. All right, now you're off and running, doing whatever the contract says. What kind of challenges, issues you can run into there?
Really miscommunication. Sometimes, sometimes it's not really malicious, but they don't know any better. If you are asked to do something by a core, which is the person that you're probably going to be working with the closest, they're the technical eyes and ears for the contracting officer. If it's not in the contract, don't do it. If they say do something, you say, I'll send an email to the contracting officer. Or if you don't feel comfortable, email the contracting officer and say, Ron asked me to do XYZ. If you want me to do this, this is going to cause the value of the contract to increase, and we're going to need additional funding. And please let me know if you want me to send you a proposal for this work. But you should not do any work that's not in writing.
Okay. What should happen if you run into a problem and you can't fulfill the contract?
You have to contact the core, the technical person, and the CO immediately, and document everything. Don't allow the government, don't rely on the government to document for you. You need to know what is happening on your contract. And if something happens and there's a conflict, you're able to speak to them about what has happened because you've been documenting as well. You cannot rely on them. The last thing you want to do is get into an argument with the technical person or the CO at the end, and it's your word against theirs. You need documentation.
Okay. Yeah. So Tony's just saying, changing requirements. Yeah, that is a challenge. So yeah, So I'm trying to think. So any other cautions somebody's trying to get government contracts should consider?
Absolutely. If you're partnering with someone, especially large businesses, you cannot look at it like they're doing you a favor. You need to vet them the way they're vetting you. You need to make sure that they pay their people on time. You need to Google them to see if they're
Oh,
in
yeah.
the news for any conflicts. You need to go to Glassdoor to make sure their employees aren't saying terrible things about them, because when you partner with them, it is now your reputation also. Partnering is like a marriage, and you need to vet your partner, large or small. You cannot assume because it's a large business that they pay their people on time and that they treat their partners well.
So what about the government paying on time?
Well, now the government, if you submit a proper invoice because you followed all the instructions in your contract, you know, different agencies use different payment systems. So it has to be what's in your particular contract. The government, as of March of 2023, it's not mandated, but they are going to try to pay small business within 15 business days.
That's a big switch from the old days.
Yeah.
But so that's good. And what about if there's some cash flow issues for getting enough money to actually start the contract? So is there something you can do in the negotiation to help with cash flow?
Generally, no, unless you're in some innovative situation. If you're just winning a regular contract, the government expects for you to come on board and be able to deliver. That is what's considered a responsible contractor. So like, for instance, if you are looking to pursue a contract that has travel, the government will reimburse you for travel. You're going to have to pay for your people to travel up front. So you need to have cash on hand or a line of credit to make sure you can manage things until you can get your invoices paid.
Yeah. So, anybody out there got any questions? Because you got someone here that's took over 200 courses and completed over 200 courses. so the bottom line, if you know anything about AI and Chat GPT, how much stuff it's learned. So she's overloaded her brain the same way. She don't even know all the stuff she knows. But it's in that brain. So like, if you ask her a question, it's gonna come out. But yeah, but I think for you, Constance, people don't realize your brain gets wired up a certain way, just like the AI gets wired up a certain way, and all the stuff you know. Some of the stuff you can't articulate what you know, but you know it when it's time to do it. You know, and so
Yes.
And so what the deal is, you are a perfect candidate for, creating AI based on your knowledge, and let the AI do the work, and you get paid, and let the AI make you money. And that's really the opportunity for everyone who has expertise. But some people are literally, so like, for example, your case, you can go to a company like Mercor, Handshake. There's about 3 or 4, maybe more now, but these companies are making so much money because they're paying people like you to train the AI based on what you know. But that, to me, that you shouldn't do that. You should create your own AI and deploy it to make money. And that's what
Yeah,
people
I've had thoughts while we've been on this webinar. So yeah.
But that's what because your brain is wired totally different. And so based on what you told me, so for I would estimate, I don't know what the real number is, but it's not too many people that have that much knowledge about contracting. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
So if you can, you hang around me, I'll make sure you learn how to do it.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. So like when I retired from the Air Force Research Lab, I went out to a conference in Las Vegas. So I was grabbing some lunch, and this guy came to sit down with me, just being nice, and we were just talking. And so he was asking me about my career, and I hadn't even thought of it, but the if I describe my career, it's literally unique. You see what I'm saying? So so if you don't know how different you are and the expertise you have compared to other people, it's kind of hard to kind of understand. And so so that's what I'm saying. People don't, you have to realize you've been out there working in a certain field. You've learned certain things, and are you going to dive with that knowledge, or are you going to package that knowledge so it can be a legacy, so you can make money for your children and grandchildren? And that's what the opportunity is right now.
Yeah. That is certainly my plan.
Yeah. So how long you been using, which chat GPT you said you use? I use
Gemini. So I started out with chat GPT, but then for my business, I use Microsoft 365 and I use Google. So I was like, why am I paying for 3? So now I use Copilot and I use Gemini.
So what I would do is all the other ones that you were using, go download all your data from them. And so you can actually import that data into the ones you still have.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the reason why I'm saying that is so like all that work you've been doing contracting wise, prompting contracting wise, all that's the AI has actually learned the patterns in your brain.
Yes.
So once you download that knowledge, so when you do that prompt to generate your own personalized Lanika prompt, it's going to actually reflect all that stuff that you've been prompting about, find all the patterns in it, and so guess what? Guess what? One of the things you can do once you do that, you can say, well, based on my prompting history, what SOPs that you can create based on my prompting is what workflows you can create based on my prompting history.
Yeah.
What AI skills can you generate based on my prompting history that I can give to my AI agent that's going to act like me right now?
Yes.
And do my work.
I can't wait to do this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So I haven't told people this, but that Lanika prompt, you can point at anything, but you can also, since now your chat knows what that prompt is, you can tell it. You can say, please create me a Lanika prompt. So when I give you a video to YouTube video to analyze, you can go in there and strike out all the workflows they're talking about. So you don't have to even listen to the video. You can just say, I want all the workflows and I want all the AI skills.
Yes.
You can literally go get all the recordings of all those things you did with SCORE, and you don't realize that you've already created all the stuff you need for your AI thing already.
Oh yes, I can certainly use SCORE. Yes, I can. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And if you have notes from all them classes, you could tuck in the notebooks, and if you record any videos, or if you got the notebooks, you can train the AI on all that stuff too. But
yeah. So for the last several years, I've been downloading all of the information from the courses that I've taken. So I probably have 100 on my my drive I've downloaded everything, all the notes and everything.
Yeah. So with your prompt that you create, people may think I'm joking, but that's why people don't realize data is data. People think they don't have data, but they got data everywhere.
Yes.
And so yeah, all that stuff literally, just listen to me good. You can literally take all that training material and use your Lanicia prompt to go in there and extract out all this, analyze that and extract out all the patterns in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna play around with this. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, but that's why I tell people when you attend this conference, I'm gonna this summit, I'm gonna give you several of those prompts that you can use that you never even imagined that you don't even have to know how to prompt, because once you create that Lanicia prompt, you know it's gonna yeah, and start analyzing stuff. Yeah, it's everything's data, and it's just going to be so. People out there sitting on the sidelines, but the problem is the capability of AI. These large language model is doubling, less than every 4 months now, and you can just see it every day. These companies are competing with each other. One come out with something, next day the other one's posting they didn't got the same thing. It's just it's just accelerating so fast. But once the AI knows what you're trying to build or what you're trying to create, it'll help you create it. So I'm literally telling you, it will help you create whatever you want once you start using that Lanicia prompt and then understand when you do that where you have it based on your prompting history, it knows what you want, and so now then it's going to be able to use any data to help you get to where you want to go. Yeah, and so I'm trying to motivate people to realize they're sitting on a gold mine and don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. So I hope you've had fun, and I know you got a lot more knowledge that we need to extract out of you, but we'll figure out how to do that.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I love when I come to share and I actually learn something. So this has been great.
Yeah, and So you just need to, all that work you've been doing, you just need to have the AI analyze it and turn it into stuff that you can do. I'll give people this one example that I did, and I didn't even know I was going to do it before I did it, but it's just understanding what data is. So I have one of the local founders. He's going to pitch down in Miami next week to Emerge Americas, and so he wanted some people to come listen to his 4-minute pitch. And so I told him what, because I pitched down there before, and so he when I got there, they gave us a little printout of what the judges were going to be using to evaluate the pitch. So I just took a picture of it with my phone and told my Lanicia prompt to analyze it. And then I told it to create me an agent that can a prompt or something, an agent that can actually analyze a pitch and evaluate it based on that. But guess what my Lanicia prompt told me? This rubric that they're going to judge him on is weak. It's not even what it should be. And then it created a new rubric, and so I told it to create a prompt that can evaluate a pitch and evaluate it based on the criteria that they gave me and the criteria that it suggested, and then compare the two. While I'm sitting in the meeting, but I'm listening to his prompt.
Wow.
But I didn't know the thing when I analyzed it, it was going to create a new rubric that based on all the stuff I had learned about evaluating pitches. Because they know what I knew about evaluating pitches. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how I can do this to, like, when it comes to evaluating proposals, how I can build something that will help the evaluators. That's what I've been thinking about the whole time we've been talking.
Yeah, so it's literally simple. Whatever scoring criteria you have for the proposal, get that to your agent, your large language model, and just tell it to create a prompt that I can use to evaluate proposals based on this criteria.
Yeah,
How much more simple can it be?
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. So, but that's the craziness of these people. Everybody's trying to figure out stuff instead of just telling the AI what it's trying to accomplish and let it come up with the answer within the framework you give it.
Yeah.
That's the simplicity of it. So, yeah. So that's what we want. We want to make sure we get as many people learning how to use the technology as possible. So we can help folks create some more wealth. So, but based on the only reason I can tell you what I'm telling you, because I understand the math, of what AI is. It basically the universal approximation theorem said artificial neural network, which is what's in these large language models, can understand any data pattern, and everything is a data pattern. And it says it can actually understand any function, like a math function or equation. It can literally understand. That's what the theorem says. That's math.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and so in any video, any transcript, any article, it can find the patterns in that article and tell you how it relates to you and how you can use it to make what you're working on better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't have to take a prompting class to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I never took a prompting class.
What?
No, because I when I wanted the AI to do something, I just asked, "Are you familiar with it?" And then it explains whether it was familiar with it. Then I tested to see, tried something a little harder. I tested to see, but you always have to give it a framework to work in. Otherwise, it's going to hallucinate all over the place. But if you constrain it to a framework or a lean canvas, which is a business model, if you can, it don't go hallucinating when it's locked to that framework.
Yeah, you set these guardrails up, and as long as you do that, okay, yeah.
So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do it, and and it's literally crazy. A guy, I did this last night. A guy had posted a cheat sheet for Claude, and it had 100 different things about Claude. And so I downloaded the image and I asked my Lanicia prompt to analyze it. So it got all the patterns out of that. You see how simple it is?
Yes, I can't wait.
So you said you're gonna wait till next week to do your Lanicia prompt. Are you
No,
sure
I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm not waiting till next week. I'm doing it tomorrow. I have so many things going through my head right now. So, and thank you everyone who joined. I appreciate it.
Any last minute takeaways so we can get out here?
Anything that you're doing well commercially, you can sell to the government. You just need to find out which agencies buy what it is you are selling, your product or your service.
Yeah, so go ahead and put your website in. I apologize, I forgot to put it in the chat. Yeah, so people can see how to get a hold of it.
It's not letting me post the comments.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not able to post for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Is it letting you go? Because otherwise I don't see it yet.
Yeah, I'm hitting it now. It's delayed a little bit.
Okay. All right. There it is. Simple jcs-llc.com. That's about as simple as you can get. Yeah.
Oh, there's an extra W, but yeah, they can figure it out.
Oh yeah, but you don't even have to put the W's in there, to be honest with you. Like, JCS-LLC, and you're good to go. Well, I enjoyed chatting with you, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help everybody and to kind of move forward, and and so that's why I say you people, like, if at a minimum you need to register for the thing, so at least you can get access to the videos. And then you can use your Lanicia prompt to analyze the videos.
Yes.
All righty. Take care. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.